What do you think of when you think of the book of Daniel? The favourite old stories of the fiery furnace and the lion's den? Or do you roll your eyes with here we go again cynicism? I love this book, not because of its same old familiarity, but because it is new every time I open it up. There is much that is new and fresh about this book, and that's what I would like to explore with you. For example, did you realize that in each chapter of the book, there is a different aspect of the character of God? In the first chapter, God is portrayed as a God who stays with his people despite the depth of their crisis. In chapter 2, God is shown to be the only one who can give us insight when no one else has a clue, even the ones that everybody looks to for the answers. In chapter 3, God takes a stand for his people when they take a stand for him. And in chapter 4, he helps a painfully proud yet teachable leader to become human. This is in contrast to chapter 5. King Belshazzar was just too full of himself, so because of his persistent pride, God did not stand in the way of his great fall. Chapter 6, the story of the lion's den, confirms with us that God chooses to stay with his people on the cold, lonely, and dangerous nights. And chapter 7 reveals God as holding nations accountable for the torment they have been to surrounding nations. In a similar vein, chapter 8 very clearly affirms that God sets a time limit on evil. Evil will not bleed on forever, but will one day be forever dispatched. Chapter 9 assures us that God hears and he answers our prayer. Chapter 10 pulls back the curtains to show us that God restrains and guides the vagaries of international politics. Chapter 11 reminds us that God is the God of history, while chapter 12 informs us that God is the God of deliverance. I like that. This is not just a book to titivate the curiosity, but to answer our deepest spiritual needs. It is no surprise then that the enemy of God would enshroud this book with the weird and the fanciful, with a liberal dose of irrelevance and cynicism tacked on. So I challenge you to set out on a journey with me, to see this book through fresh eyes. Read it in a version you can understand and be prepared to discuss what you find, not to bash other people over the head with it, but in the spirit and the humility of Jesus, who came to enlighten and bless rather than bully and stress.